Doesn't like me that much yet. What he don't know is in 4 years, me and him could be arch enemies. Pretty little deer. Hey everybody, it's a little hot and nasty out here today. We're out here clearing trails, more so for the deer right now than for us, but just some access trails. Woods have grown up and gotten really thick this year, and got a shadow with us today too, been following us around. No stranger at all. I think we've made a new friend. First deer already using the new access trail. I tell you what, you could never get one to do that in hunting season. But, that's pretty neat right there. It's just amazing how inquisitive wildlife is sometimes. Anyway, we're getting all these access trail stuff cut and stuff, and we're practicing with our bows here, being it's getting close to season. We're just a little less than 1 month away. It's hard to believe, but we've been getting them tuned up, shooting our broadheads through them, making sure everything is super tuned, and we got to talking about that, and we thought, you know, we ought to head over to the bow shop over to High Performance Archery and talk to our old buddy Cliff about tuning your broadheads and stuff and getting ready for hunting season. So we're going to continue cutting these trails out here, and then we'll meet you at the bow shop.
Well, hey everybody, here we are over at High Performance Archery with Cliff Bryce here, and like I said earlier, we want to talk to you a little bit about broadheads and just some technical things about broadheads. And I know I'm guilty of it, that I wait, you know, till the last minute to start shooting my broadheads, or maybe a lot of people wait till the last minute to decide what broadhead they want to shoot, and you know, that's not necessarily good. That could lead to, you know, some tuning issues and things like that, which Cliff will talk about. But I do want to make one point, that we're not here to advocate one broadhead or one style over another. For so many people making such good products nowadays, it just boils down to a personal preference and what you prefer. And so that's something you're just going to have to decide, but we're just going to talk to you about some information that'll help you make that decision. And Cliff here at High Performance Archery, he carries all different styles and brands of broadheads, so stop by and see him and he'll get you fixed up. But Cliff, I wanted to ask you a question. When was the first mechanical broadhead? Do you remember when the first mechanical broadhead that you saw come on the market?
Well, in terms of when I saw the mechanical broadheads sort of start hitting the market and having an impact on the market, there were several probably earlier than when I saw them. When I saw them start hitting the market was in the late 80s, early 90s, where they really made an impact, or they started to show up, and you know, the average hunter started you know, showing some interest in them, and you started seeing them on the market. So that's kind of when they started, and sort of you know, those broadheads, due to materials and manufacturing processes and just some of the, you know, inherent problems or flaws that they had. A lot of people got a pretty bad taste in their mouth with those products at that time, and they sort of kind of came and went for a while before they actually kind of came to stay. So some of those things have been kind of replaced by better materials, better manufacturing processes, repeatability on broadheads, the straightness, the durability, the hardness, the sharpness of the blade. And so now, I think mechanical broadheads are probably maybe even more so taking over the market than what we would call a standard or fixed wing broadhead.
Now
So
you probably sell more mechanicals than fixed blade, or
we do at this point. We sell more mechanical type and mechanical style broadheads now than we do fixed wing or standard cut-on contact style.
Right.
But they still both have their their followings, and
For
they
sure.
still both have their applications.
Yeah, for sure. I know the old school guys, they prefer fixed blade stuff, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the learning curve or the design curve on mechanicals has come so far, and they're so dependable, and just durability wise, it's amazing. I mean, I've had some mechanical broadheads that I use that I've killed 2 or 3 deer with the same broadhead. So big leaps and bounds, and like you said, they're here to stay. So what I'm going to do is just let Richard come back here and talk to you about some of the technical aspects of penetration and taking things into consideration when you do choose a broadhead, maybe what type of broadhead is going to perform the best given your bow and arrow setup and things like that. And because no two broadheads are alike when you take into consideration your bow setup. So that's when a pro shop and a person that's real knowledgeable like Cliff can really come in handy and help you make those decisions on what's going to suit you best out in the field. So I'll get Richard back here and you guys can talk about the technical aspects of these broadheads. Appreciate you letting us come in.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, everybody. I'm going to talk to Cliff here a little bit about the technical side of these broadheads and mechanicals versus fixed blades, and how your bow setup affects what may be the proper broadhead for your selection. One of the popular things nowadays is how big the cutting diameter is going to be on your mechanical broadheads, but that may not necessarily be what you would want in your situation. Like, let's say if you're a lady and you're shooting a lighter poundage bow, or a youngster starting out bow hunting and they're not shooting heavy poundage as somebody who's been bow hunting for quite a while. So you may want something that penetrates a little bit better than a mechanical would, just simply because it takes a lot more energy to open up a mechanical on impact.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I could probably demonstrate that point. And again, the larger cutting diameters are very popular. They tend to do a lot of damage. But again, they may not be the right broadhead for that application. For example, if you're shooting a very short draw length and lightweight, you're not generating the foot-pounds of energy with that setup that somebody's shooting, let's say 70 pounds and 30-inch draw. So this broadhead would probably not be a good broadhead for that application. Just because it's a large cutting diameter doesn't mean it's a good broadhead for that application. You probably want to go with something that is cut-on contact, requires less energy to make its way through the animal, and would probably make more of a wound channel and end up with greater penetration with that lightweight and short draw. So a fixed blade cut-on contact style broadhead would be a better application for that scenario that you described earlier. The short draw length, the lightweight archer, something along the lines of a fixed 2-blade or fixed 3-blade type of broadhead. So definitely would be a better choice for that application.
And another thing in regards to mechanical broadheads and how you have your bow set up as far as properly tuned. Back in the day, when people started shooting mechanicals, the thing of it was they were all interested in it flying just like your field points. And the air to that being was, you could have a bow that's not necessarily properly tuned, but the mechanical will shoot fairly close to where your field points are hitting, but the angle of the arrow going into the animal, it may be slapping sideways or at the improper angle, and you're not going to get the correct amount of penetration you would anyway. I'm sure you've seen that a lot over the years.
Yeah, it led to a lot of people coming in the shop and saying, you know, wow, I hit this animal really great with these broadheads and they're shooting well, but I didn't get any penetration. And so they blamed it on the mechanical broadhead. In all reality, what was happening was just what you described. They would screw their field points out of a poorly tuned, poorly shooting arrow and screw those mechanical broadheads in, and they would hit very close to where they were hitting with the field points, but the momentum was killed because the arrow was flying sideways. So even though the shooting of the broadhead problems were fixed with screwing that mechanical broadhead on, the problems associated with the actual flight of the arrow was still there, so they still didn't get any penetration. They blamed it on the mechanical broadhead when in all reality it was a tuning issue.
And it could be said, basically, you can watch all the videos you want and look at all the footage and read all the reviews you want on broadheads nowadays, and everybody's got a solution to every problem, but the big gist of it all is having your bow properly tuned so that arrow flies true, if you would agree with this, and big cutting diameter is not the solution to every problem. So just keep that in mind. No matter what broadhead you buy, if it's put in the correct place and the shot placement is there and your arrow's flying good and straight, it's going to do the job.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you want. Make ethical shots, make ethical decisions, and put the broadhead where it needs to be.
That's a good shot.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for us. We appreciate you being here, and we really appreciate Cliff taking the time, especially this close to deer season when he's so busy, taking a little bit of time to talk to us about broadheads, and we really appreciate that. What we're going to do is put High Performance Archery's information here up on the site, put Cliff's phone number and address on there, and we'd like for you to go over there and visit Cliff, and for any of your archery needs or any questions you might have, tell him you watch this video on Roll Hot Outdoors and he'll give you $1 off your next pack of broadheads, and I think it's pretty good of him, don't you, bub?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been really hot here the last few weeks, and today the weather has really turned. We got a big cold front that's moved in. It's supposed to be setting in on us here for a while, so I think we're gonna head to Kentucky and do a little hunting.
Yeah, I can't take it anymore. I got to get in the tree, folks, and we're going to be headed to the Bluegrass State, and hopefully the next time you see us, we'll be up in a tree with camo on and have some action for you. So really, really excited about that.
Yeah, it's time. It smells and feels like hunting, and we can't wait to get after it.
The acorns are dropping. Anytime the acorns start hitting the ground, you know it's time.
Oh yeah, yeah, excellent time to be out. So, hey, we just wish everybody a safe and productive hunting season, and just get out there and enjoy God's great creation. Take somebody hunting with you, and that's what it's all about. So from here at Roll Hot Outdoors, as we always say, don't forget to roll hot, everybody.